Well, to the Fox News voter fraud unit now in the heated battle in Florida. That's where they have stopped looking for some illegal voters. Local election officials in the key battleground state say that they have halted their effort to make sure that there are no non-citizen voters because they say they just don't trust the state's voting lists. This all comes after the U.S. Attorney General Eric Holder moved to stop the effort to bounce people who are not American citizens from the rolls. The Justice Department fears that effort could violate the Voting Rights Act and prevent people from voting. And a federal judge struck down the state's law regarding third-party groups registering voters. You know, that was one way Acorn got into so much trouble. So what does all this mean for the integrity of Florida's election system? A state that decided the 2000 presidential race and could help tip the balance in 5 months. Well, joining us now is Florida Republican Congressman Tom Rooney, whose district includes Palm Beach County, which you, as you recall, is the center of all those hanging chads and whatnot back in 2000. Congressman Rooney, welcome. Thanks for joining us this morning.
Thank you for having me.
What is your reaction to the fact that they're not looking for illegal voters?
Well, there's some counties that have stopped. I think that there was 30 supervisors of elections that have stopped. You know, we have 67 counties, so the search goes on in some of the counties, but even a lot of the ones that have stopped, you know, these are elected officials, Republican and Democrat, and they've basically said, some of them, that we're confused as to what we're supposed to do. You know, the governor there says that we have to make sure that the people that are voting are actually legally eligible to vote, and just Eric Holder from Washington, D.C. says, no, you can't do that. So some of these supervisors of elections are just confused and don't know what to do, so they're waiting for clearance. But certainly there's other supervisors that are continuing to look, as I believe it's their job to make sure that the people that are voting are actually supposed to be voting.
Well, and what if in those counties that they're not doing it, what happens if people who are not supposed to be voting vote?
Well, you know, that's the supervisors are all you know, elected officials, as I said, and they're going to be held accountable for what they're doing or not doing. But because there's been this monkey wrench thrown into the mix with the federal government saying, stop looking at your voting rolls, Florida, stop looking to see if you're supposed to do the normal housekeeping of making sure your rolls are clean, some people are just like, well, we need further guidance. And yeah, you might be right. I mean, we've seen some people that have been disqualified in this first batch of names that have been sent down to the counties. So, you know, in my opinion, if there's one person that's committing, which is a felony, voter fraud, then that negates my vote. It's one too many.
What do you think about what the Department of Justice is doing? Of course, they would say that they're protecting the right to vote, the most sacrosanct right that we have in this country, and that you don't want to unfairly bar anybody from voting.
I think they're playing politics. You know, the goal of this program that the governor has asked the local supervisors of elections is to make sure that the names on the list are correct. That's all he's doing. And to do that, you use other databases as prescribed, as directed by 2002 federal law, to make sure that the lists are good. You can use other databases, such as DMV records, to corroborate to see if the people that are voting are actually legal citizens, are actually eligible. And what Eric Holder has done is come in and saying that there's this 90-day rule under motor voter, which is true, but that's only supposed to strike people that were once eligible that have become ineligible inside the 90 days because they've moved, not people that were always ineligible. If you're an illegal alien and you somehow make it in that 90-day window, you shouldn't automatically be allowed to vote then. I mean, you should be, even in the 90-day, be stricken from the record. It's very egregious.
Really quickly, we're out of time. What do you fear could happen?
I think that right now, I mean, we're getting so close to ballots being printed, and so you're going to have a mix. You're going to have some supervisors that are going to continue to scrub the rolls, and you're going to have some that are going to wait. And unfortunately, I think that there's probably going to be people that slip through. And Florida's not going to be able to do their job, however big the number is or small the number is part of the responsibility of the state of Florida to make sure that the people that are voting are supposed to, especially after you alluded in 2000 what we went through in that election process. We're trying to do this the right way. No one wants to go through that again. Congressman Tom Rooney, we thank you for joining us this morning. And by the way, we always say this, if anyone suspects voter fraud at foxnews.com is our address. There it is. Congressman, thank you. Thank you.